She then emailed me to tell me that we are the most annoying customers she's ever dealt with. She told me in the email she will not run my tag sale. She's through with us. And we got our last check and she's done with us.
This is the plaintiff, Nancy Moses Hill. She says she and her mother hired the defendant to sell some antiques, and the woman kept too much of their money and, quite frankly, is ripping them off. It's very upsetting to them, especially her 85-year-old mother, because these items were precious to her. Bottom line, the woman can't be allowed to get away with what she's attempting to do. That's why she's suing for $5,000, the amount their antiques are really worth. This is the defendant, Tracy Jordan. She says she sold the items in question in 60 days and paid the plaintiff the amount she was due in 60 to 90 days after that. In fact, everything is clearly written in the contract the plaintiff signed. The woman is the most annoying customer she's ever had. She refuses to listen to reason, and she's confident the judge will agree with her today because she owes the woman nothing. She's accused of keeping too much money.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Nancy Moses Hill.
Yes.
That's you. And Joyce Moses, that's your mom, and you have power of attorney for her today.
Right.
All right. You are suing Tracy Jordan. You've asked us not to mention the name of your company, but you're suing Tracy Jordan's company for $5,000 that you want returned to you because, according to you, they did not fulfill the contract. What's going on?
About last May 2015, I called Tracy Jordan's company, and we were planning a move, and we asked them to, my mom and I, so we asked them to come take a look. What she does is tag sales, and she takes your items also to her store, and she will attempt to sell them either by auction or consignment.
Okay. And when she came over in May, when did you move?
We didn't move yet.
Oh, okay.
But we gave her our items in June of last year.
Okay.
Which I have a complete list of.
Did you sign a contract in May?
I believe it was around June.
Okay,
June,
can I see the contract?
This is...
Okay. So in June, she comes, how many items were there?
I think there's about 20 on there.
20. All right. And clearly that you could live without because you continue to live there without them.
Yes.
Okay. So, so she takes 20 items, and what's the plan according to you?
Well, she writes down what they're worth and what she's going to try and sell them for. And she never explained her contract, not once. She never explained...
Okay, hold on. The contract is this paragraph?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
She never explained that if she has your items more than 60 days, she then gets 50% of everything she sells.
Okay, well, why does she have to explain it? It says here, any items not sold or picked up by the expiration of 60 days shall become the property of her. It says it right there.
I know, but she was in the house for 2 hours. She spoke to us about all the items, but never explained...
Did your mother read this?
We both read it afterwards.
If you read it, why does she have to repeat it? I don't get what you're saying. No one else has that privilege to have the defendant Venn diagram the sentence they read.
Okay.
I mean...
That's fine. I tried to contact her several times, probably around 20. I was told by people in her office she doesn't return phone calls, that she's too busy. She will email. I emailed her. I have copies of some of
Hand me all of your emails to her and her responses.
This is what I have. Plus, I have pictures of most of the items that she took. These were all antiques, very expensive items.
Okay, so what goes wrong? So she picks up the stuff, and then tell me what goes wrong.
Well, she picked it up in June. In July, I called there, and I asked what's going on with the stuff. I was told that Tracy does not return phone calls. I asked for an itemized list of what was sold. I was told they don't really do that. I said, I'm only asking for a list on the contract. There's numbers next to everything. If you can just email me what was sold so I have an idea. I finally found out that a clock, which was like the most expensive item, was sold in July. It says on their contract they will pay you within 90 days.
The grandfather clock or
No.
no?
It's
the one that's on the desktop.
Yes, it was sold for $6,200. I was told I would be paid within 90 days. It was in November, which I have on the emails. Never got a check. Texted them, emailed them. The check's
How much
on
of the
its way.
$6,200 are you supposed to get?
$5,000.
So when do you finally get that $5,000?
6 months later, from July of when it was
do you
sold.
have a copy of the check?
No, I don't.
Was it 6 months later?
No.
When was it?
Within the guideline. I have the check.
Can I see the check?
Sure.
That's the issue. We were never told when the clock was sold, when it would be paid. We were told nothing. We never.
What's your custom on how you keep people apprised of what's going on?
We spoke to her over 50 times during the period of time that we were talking back and forth, emailing her.
She
But
never
what's
spoke to me
what's your
directly.
business practice of how you keep people informed? There's nothing in writing?
There is. It says that when we send them the payment for the check, all checks are cut 90 days from the date the items are paid for. It lists the statement of everything that was paid for. If they want any of their items back, on the top of the contract, it has an expiration date. So they're to tell us what things they'd like to have back. We pull them aside for them so they can pick them up before the
Okay, one of the
expiration
things that she
date.
paid for was a, quote, tag sale. What is a tag sale?
A tag sale is when somebody comes to your home and buys the items from the home and takes them out of the house. So she would remove everything from her home that she wants to take with her, and they leave everything else behind.
Yeah, but it's not her home. What do you mean when she moves out?
Before she moves out, after she moves out, and before she does the closing, we work for our customers right in that 2 or 3 day period.
Wow.
Yes, we go into their home, we evaluate, we sell, we organize the tag sale.
Right, but in this case, you had taken the things all
Correct.
out.
That's part of that contract. The tag sale will be the
Okay,
final
I'm sorry.
thing.
Stop.
Okay.
You go to her house one day, you pick up 20 items, correct?
27 items.
27 items. Those 27 items went where?
They went to auction, and they went to be reviewed to see if we could sell them at
Physically, where
consignment.
is, quote, auction?
We have a 6,000 square foot auction house and store in Garden City, New York.
Okay. And so they went to auction, and some stuff got sold.
We sold some at the July 1st auction, some at the July 8th auction, and some at the September auction.
Okay. Then those 27 items, did they stay at that auction site that whole time?
There's still, yes, everything stays there. Nothing moves.
Nothing moves from there. That is the site.
Correct.
All right.
So she would have all these things left.
So
in her
part
home.
of the tag sale is whatever it is that she didn't want to take with her to, where were you going?
North Carolina.
Are you still going?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. Where in North
Thank you.
Carolina?
Wilmington.
Whatever she wasn't taking to North Carolina, the rest of your service is for you to go ahead and go to their house and sell that, and they get how much?
And 100%.
100% of that?
Correct.
Okay. Now, that never happened because you haven't moved, and you guys parted ways.
She refused
What
to
went
do it.
wrong that caused... Okay, what went wrong, according to
Okay.
you, and then I'll ask you in a moment.
All the time she says that she spoke to me 50 times. I never spoke to her. It was all emailing. It took forever to get her. My mom, who's 85 and has a heart condition, called her after like 3 months and begged her to call back. Absolutely begged her on the phone. Tracy, I liked you. I have a heart condition. Please call me. I want to know what's happening with my stuff. My mother's so upset about this she couldn't come. She never called her back. She then emailed me to tell me that we are the most annoying customers she's ever dealt with. She will not, she told me in the email, she will not run my tag sale. She's through with us. And we got our last check and she's done with us. Now, my contention is, I have nothing against her contract, but if you see on the contract, it doesn't even say when she's selling some of these items. So how do I know when to pick up what wasn't sold?
Well,
Being
don't
that
you
I
have to pick up everything that's not sold by the 60 days after she takes
That's
them?
not what she said, because some of them aren't even being sold till
Can I
September.
just ask you a
If you
question?
look
Could you
at-
just go pick them up?
I've been asking her to. I've been begging her
Never.
to pick up the
Okay,
stuff.
hold on. So
Yes.
you have no problem with her just picking up the rest of the stuff that you want her out?
I asked her to pick up everything. She came to the store. She picked up 2 things and left the other 9.
When did you ask her
Excuse
to
me.
pick up everything?
From August through October.
Never
October
did she ask me to
24th,
pick up
I have the
anything.
text.
Stop.
Okay.
Okay, on October 29th, I see her asking you, we expected you to come into the shop today, what happened? And your answer is, I'm coming tomorrow, needed van and help. What about payment?
She hadn't picked up her things. We asked her to come back and pick
So
up her
what were you
things.
coming to the place with a van for?
2 items. We called and I said that there were 2 chests. They were on the pictures. My mom decided she wanted them back. Not everything, because why did we give her the things if it wasn't for her to sell? After all these months...
Well, maybe you want to pick everything up because the 60 days are passing.
No, it wasn't
That's right.
60. First of all, it was 90.
According to you, they're just calling too much?
No, I just kept reiterating the same contract over and over to them. She admits to me in the emails that she, in November, was the first time she actually read the contract, and she didn't know that this is how it worked. I had explained when I first met the mom that if she didn't want me to do all of this, the price could be less if she wanted to pack up her own items and bring them to the store to be evaluated at an appointment. She wanted everything to be done for her. So we went to the house. It was myself, with the rest of my staff. We went through everything, every single item in the cabinet, all the china. We gave her evaluations on every vase. There weren't any antiques in the house. Everything that they have are decorative items to be sold at the most of what somebody is willing to be paid for them. I spent 3 months researching the items to them to try to sell them, and that's why it takes so long. Through the whole process, I kept saying to Nancy in the emails that she didn't seem very happy. She didn't like the way this was going. She would say, "Where's my money?" But it wasn't even time for her money to be sent to her. She didn't understand the contract or the process that was signed. The contract was signed by her mother. I met with her mother. I went over this with her mother. I did meet Nancy for a few moments the first day. She was in the shower when I first showed up.
Stop.
The first day that I went over to meet her mom, she was in the shower. I did meet with her. The second time I went over there with my staff, she was in her bedroom. There were a lot of things that the mom thought that were worth a lot of money.
Okay, but listen to me. You send an email. She sends an email to you talking about how you basically caused her mother's heart problem and that she's going to sue you.
Yes.
So I understand your frustration. Then you send an email back saying, "We are not a storage facility. If you wanted these pieces back, why didn't you take them? Everything is in writing for you. I've been over this with you 1,000 times. At this point, I can no longer help you." You do say to her, "I can no longer help you. Do whatever you think is necessary." It is you saying, I'm not going to, listen, you don't have to put up with whatever you feel is abuse. You can do that, but it costs something to do that. So it is not accurate to say they fired you. You fired them. Like you said, "You know what, I can't work like this." So there's a portion of, how much did she pay you? The 12?
She paid me $100 to go to her house.
Right, which is applied towards the other stuff.
Yeah, the fee was $2,500, so she pays $100. So then half is due, so $1,200. She paid $1,200
So
more.
she's paid $1,300?
$1,300, correct.
Okay, they never paid anything else?
No.
Oh.
So there really isn't any need for me to continue to work.
I thought that so is it accurate that all you've paid is $1,300?
Yes, but can I speak? Because she's been speaking the whole time.
Yeah, tell me, this is what I need you to address.
Yes.
Because you are trying to get from her
my items back.
$1,200 for a tag sale.
Right.
Because you say, well, the tag sale didn't happen and that's what the deposit was.
Exactly.
Understand that what a tag sale is the following. The fee quoted above includes hosting a tag sale, advertising costs, 1 dumpster, transportation costs, staffing, setup, cleaning, and clean-out services provided. All items sold at the tag sale, you get 100% for. Everything else that we're able to sell at a live auction is 80%, 20%, and anything. So, then it's everything is the $2,500.
No, it's not.
I just read this. Okay, listen.
What you just
I understand.
read.
There's none so blind as she who will not see. I just read to you what is a tag sale.
If you read the contract.
Part of the tag sale includes going to your house at the end and getting rid of the rest of your stuff that's there with a dumpster, which I know didn't happen, and she quit on you. So I know that it's on them. But if you think that I'm going to order as though this didn't cover also going to your house with the staff, picking it up and selling it at the auction, when I just read to you the language where it does, then I can't help you.
Okay, please.
No, stop. Okay, here's where we are, okay? I want to know from you, of the 27 items, how many items were sold?
Oh, okay. 3 pages, I'm sorry.
So I can just count it up?
Yes, you'll see the checks. I believe that's everything that she was paid on.
So the 50-50 percentage comes in when?
When it's on the consignment. After it hasn't sold on auction, we put it on the floor to sell for her. And then
And what happens at auction? It goes 80-20?
If it sells over $250, it's 80-20. When the item doesn't sell at auction, we start the clock again for her and put it on consignment.
Okay. So this is an accurate list of what has sold and of the amounts that she should have.
That's correct.
Okay. So anything else that she didn't get a check for is something that you have in your possession and she can pick up.
Some of those items have sold because they're sitting there selling after December 1st when she was supposed to come pick them up.
Right. And what? Finish that thought. What are you saying about it? Did she get a check or she didn't?
She didn't get a check.
Okay.
Her contract
What is
expired.
it that was sold after December? December what?
We extended her contract for her to pick everything up till December 1st. She was supposed to come August 11th.
Let me see the email where you tell her pick everything up.
Okay.
And they'll actually say pick everything up, not I was expecting you.
No, it says please come and get. Then we finally say to her, you're supposed to pick everything up by August 11th. You haven't come. We're going to give you finally till December 1st to get everything out.
That's what I want. I want to see that. I want to see that.
I would too. This is all a fabrication. I wouldn't have sued her if she said I could pick up my stuff. I would have picked up my stuff.
So
this is expensive stuff.
When somebody came into the store to pick things up, we were prepared for them to take everything. They only took
Show me the emails, please. No more talking until I see those emails.
Okay, here's one.
That say what you said, not that say something close to it. That say what you said. Read it before you hand it to me.
Okay. As I mentioned in that same email and many times before, the account is expired, which means the consignment period has ended and any items...
No. That is not what you said it would say. I need you to find the one you said where you say, we've asked you several times. It's beforehand. It's not you going nanny boo-boo later.
Okay.
It's you beforehand saying you have until December 1st. I'm extending your contract. You still haven't picked it up. You were supposed to have picked it up. That's the stuff I want to see. The stuff you said I would see, that's what I want to see.
Okay.
Incidentally, I've looked over these documents, and what it appears you have sold since the December 1st is $1,572.50. Anything else, you've given them either 50-50 or 80-20 already. According to your record.
Your Honor, can I just...
You're going to get this, so you're going to be able to dispute whatever it is you think hasn't been done.
It's fine, but I just want to say...
No, I need you to stop.
I didn't even get to
I need you to stop. What part of that's unclear? You know what? Roll your eyes at me one more time. Do it.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So I'm going to ask you a quiz, okay? You can sell antiques one of three ways: consignment, garage sale, or Craigslist. Which do you choose?
Craigslist.
Because?
I think you probably could get the most money directly.
So, huh? Okay, what do you say?
Craigslist, because you know who you're selling it to.
Okay, sir, you're the...
Consignment.
Consignment, why?
Yes, sir, because, you know, your safety is insured and you're going to get a decent price for it. They're going to let you know whatever.
You're not going to get some psycho on Craigslist.
True that.
Got your point. Going into the courtroom.
Have a seat, ma'am. Have a seat. Go ahead and have a seat. Who are you to her?
Her daughter.
Okay.
Here you go.
Okay. Okay, so this is an email on August 7th. I received your message, reviewed your account, a total of 9 items sold in your account, and payments are processed 90 days. And that's from your assistant.
Correct.
And then, can you please tell me what items sold? This is August 7th, and she responds the following, and she gives you the item numbers of them, 3, 4, 7, 9, 14. And that's an hour after, that's not even an hour after you asked.
That was 3 months after I asked.
This is August 7th. Come on up, please, to the podium. Then she authorizes you to reduce everything except the Victorian dressers. We will pick them up, and she picks them up.
Yes.
Okay, here's what I'm not seeing, what you said I would see, which is an email where after that you say, come pick everything up, I'll just give you everything back. And here's where the problem lies. The problem lies, and it's fine because I know what the solution is. The problem lies in the following. Things belong to you after 60 days unless you're acting like you're not enforcing that clause. There's a concept in the law that where you appear to be waiving a clause in the contract and you lull the other side into a false sense of security on it, you can't just all of a sudden pull the rug out under their feet. I find that these emails lull. Here's what the solution is to that. It's a very simple one. The only thing you sold after that date it would be 50-50. You sold a total of $575. It was nothing. It wasn't nothing, but it was very little. Had I found an email where you were warned saying, listen, it's been more than 60 days, enough of this. I know I acted like the 60 days didn't matter when I told you had more time, and I hoped you appreciate that I was giving you more time. But now I mean it. Now it's been 4 months. Take your stuff out. You got till December 1st. If I found that email, you wouldn't get a penny of that stuff.
But you're
going to get a penny of that stuff because she can't find that email.
I know, and I know I have it.
Oh.
Because she's lying. And the reason...
Which I've now given... I can't get... I mean, you should know. You should be able to grab that email.
I understand.
Okay?
Yes.
You know, I'm going to give you 24 hours to find that email and the response to the email.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
If that happens, I will alter my case accordingly. Okay. But based on your inability to show me that email right now, I am going to enter an order that they are owed the 50% of that amount. So, of that figure, 157,250, which is the amount that you have received for the additional items sold that you have given them no check for, that would be 50% of that, correct?
Yes.
That's $786.25 that would be due them. And then of the $1,200, which they are suing to get back because according to her, the final part, the part that is an actual tag sale did not occur. I agree with you that it is inappropriate to return all that money because there are portions of this that you did do, such as putting on the live auction, which is part of the contract called the tag sale agreement, picking up all the stuff with your staff, going through the administrative work of tagging and everything else that you did. I do believe that a portion of it was, of the $2,500 was earned. What portion? The $1,200. I think that you've earned half that fee, and I don't think you should return any of that fee. But I do think that you have to pay them 50%, I'm just going to keep talking, 50% of the amount that you have sold, and I'm also going to order you to allow them, and we'll arrange this to Officer McIntosh, for them to pick up anything other than what this document says has been sold.
Okay.
And I'm ordering, unless I see an email and a response to it that shows me that there was some warning, I am ordering 50% of whatever was sold after December 1st, $786.25, verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Hold on, please.
Well, we have the plaintiffs first coming out into the hallway here. Okay, you collected some hundreds, a lot less than you sued for, and you went through a lot in there. What was
Well,
this?
the issue is that she lied. She never told us to pick up the stuff. She never told me there was a time limit. And I was with her every step of the way with this, not my mother. And she just lied about the whole process.
What about reading that contract more carefully?
No, I read the contract. My contention was not with the contract. It was with knowing when the items were sold, which she never told us. We could not contact her. She never spoke to my mother. My mother is 85. She begged her to call her.
All right, well, you'll get these things back now.
That's the thing. That's great.
And then what?
Then we're going to have a tag sale with another reputable company.
Okay. All right, head around this way, okay? And let's see what the defendant has to say here. Come on in here. What's your feeling on this outcome here?
I'm disappointed. I wish that she would have just read the contract so she knew what she was entering into.
Dealing with her was like what?
She was the worst customer I've ever worked with, over 4,200 customers.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, real simple. The defendant submitted the email proof the judge was asking for, and the defendant won the case. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Kenneth Page. He says he hired the defendant to install granite countertops in his brand new kitchen, and the guy butchered his cabinets in the process. He cut the cabinets so badly, he voided the warranties. They may not be strong enough to support the weight of the granite, and he's furious. But crying out loud, who takes a saw and hacks apart a kitchen? And he can't wait till he shows the judge pictures. He's suing for $5,000, the amount he's out. This is the defendant, John. He says the plaintiff was supposed to get custom cabinets, but cheaped out and got stock instead. There was now a problem with his cooktop not fitting, and his wife told him to do whatever it took to get the thing installed. His guy did as the wife asked. She was content with the job, and they got paid and left. 4 days later, the husband raises a stink because 2 of the insides of the cabinets are cut up, but they just did as they were told. He's accused of making a real mess of things.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to install granite countertops, and according to the plaintiff, the guy destroyed the kitchen. But the defendant says the plaintiff cheaped out on the cabinets, and that's the problem. It's the case of taking a customer for granite.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Kenneth Page, you are suing Centennial Tile and Marble LLC, represented here by John. You've asked us not to mention your last name. For $5,000, you say you're actually out more than that because you're going to have to remove and reinstall your entire kitchen thanks to their negligence. Tell me what happened.
My wife and I were redoing our kitchen, and we replaced all the cabinets and hired what we thought was professionals to put in the granite. And the granite was, they installed the granite and they butchered the 4 of the brand new cabinets. I have pictures and the...
Let me see the pictures.
The wood they've knocked out.
How did you find you just do granite, right?
Yes.
And how did you find the defendants?
Through a friend of mine.
Who was happy with their work?
No, not necessarily.
Why did the friend recommend them if they weren't happy with the work? What kind of friend is that you have? You have some special friend who's actually your enemy?
No, not really. Just he did an average job.
Then why would you hire him? If your friend told you, he did an average job on my house, why would you hire him instead of just going to the phone book?
I don't know.
Well, that's ridiculous. Are you just not willing to give even that much that the friend recommended them? Because that was the only thing that makes sense. The friend recommended him, you went with it and you regret it now, but okay, because it's a bad job and you want to tell me about the bad job. But are you telling me that a friend said to you, he did a meh job, and the first thing you did was run out and hire him? No,
he just said he did an okay job.
And through that ringing endorsement, you ran out and hired him. Okay, now we set the tone. This is, what is this item?
That's a cooktop.
So, because a cooktop had to be sunk in, because you're not going to have a cooktop that's 3 inches higher than your counters, this had to be cut. Correct?
They weren't authorized.
Okay, who cut it? A puppy? Who cut this? Who cut this?
He did.
Are you serious?
Actually, it was the guy that was with
Say
me.
it again?
Actually, it was the guy that was with me.
Yeah, better be, because if it's anybody, because you know I'm going to fleece you now in a minute. I mean, come on.
My partner.
This is horrible. This is like a child did it.
We weren't supposed to cut it at all.
Then don't. Why did you cut it?
Push the...
Nah, so what? So if she asks you to renovate her bathroom, you're going to do it? If it's not your job, you don't do it.
Correct.
Who's going to do it if not you? You're the guy who comes and knows how much has... First of all, who's installed the appliances? Who installed the appliances?
Don't know.
Who installed your appliances?
They asked me, my husband wasn't home. So
yes, which is where, you know, if you've got this picky a guy, you need to have him home when everything happens, so everything's going to be your fault. I'm sure he yelled at you when this was all over. Why did you pay them?
Yeah,
go ahead.
You're not a novice to it. So he wasn't home. I happened to be in our basement. This was upstairs. I happened to be in our basement with our kids, my dog. I said, let's just leave them alone. As I'm in the basement, I hear a sawzall, like a motor running. So
right. No, I'm sorry. My question to you was, who installed your appliances?
They did.
They're supposed to just go in and do the granite.
Right.
Why weren't your appliances already in?
Because they said that our appliance shouldn't be in yet. They have to put in the countertops to make sure everything
I can't remember now.
Yes, we have to put the
countertops first, appliances later. So what you're supposed to do is go in there, put the countertops in, and go away.
Go away. Correct.
Why didn't you do that?
I don't know.
Okay, why didn't you do that?
We have to mount the sinks and cut the hole for the cooktop.
Right, so you need the cooktop to know how big a hole to cut, or you need the specs of the cooktop.
Right.
All right, so you asked for the cooktop, but you're not gonna do what you did to the sink to the cooktop,
no.
Or are you? Okay, whose idea was it? And tell me how this happens as someone's with a saw. How does that even happen?
These guys had a cooktop spanning 2 cabinets, not 1. So you go to put it in, it hits the cabinet.
Was it a 6-burner cooktop or a 4-burner cooktop?
I think it was 6.
Was it a 6-burner cooktop or a 4?
It's a 5-burner. It's you know, the electric,
right in the
and
middle.
it's got 3 in the back and 2 in the front.
Okay.
So for me to check my cutout, I asked her if I could cut the cabinet to put the cooktop in.
You did?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said, go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
Do what you gotta do. Okay. I realize that your husband is within 4 inches of you in striking distance. I just want to know, did you tell them do what you got to do?
I did not tell them. I wasn't even there. I was down in the basement.
Right, but they're not going to, they don't even know where your cooktop is, ma'am.
Right.
They need to find it and ask you questions. So please don't tell me that you're down there bound and gagged. I know you're speaking to them.
No.
Do not interrupt. Go ahead.
No. They had brought the cooktop up. I couldn't carry it.
And then what? Nobody expects you to carry it with
I
two.
couldn't carry it.
So
and
they bring the cooktop up and what?
I've never been through this process before, so I have no idea.
And what? What do they ask you? What do you say?
They said, can we have the cooktop to measure it?
And what do you say?
Okay. And I thought they were going to measure it.
And
I went back downstairs.
And then what do they say and what do you say?
I went back downstairs and thinking they knew it. I didn't say anything. Here it is. You can measure it. And that was that. I had no idea they were going to be placing a cooktop in. I had no idea that they were going to be cutting.
Okay. What would, if you had been there, what would have happened?
I wouldn't cut the cabinets at all.
Right. But then how would you cut the hole for the cooktop?
The cooktop the hole was already cut in the shop. We don't cut it on the site.
Oh, so these guys didn't have to do anything with the cooktop.
Exactly.
So why were you doing something with the cooktop?
Because sometimes on the cooktop there's 2 little screws on the side. They just want to make sure that so we don't get called back. So they place the cooktop in and they pull it out again.
Okay, and then so when you're doing that, lo and behold, there's cabinetry in the way and it won't go down.
Right.
So you're suing to get $5,000 from. So there's this. So hold on.
Well,
Then there's what is? This is the same picture. Okay. This is
in one of the pictures. There's a crack.
They cracked the face frame of the cabinet.
So that's what you can see.
How far does that frame go from where to where?
It goes
the length of the cabinet.
30 inches.
Say it again.
It's 30 inches.
Now, what are these? I know you had some wood there. What are these?
Those are the additional sink cabinets where they knocked out the upper supports and ruined the integrity of the cabinet.
Says who? Besides you, says
Sue's
who?
Thompsonville. I researched it.
Have you had a kitchen guy come in there and say, "Oh, this is gonna blow," you know? And so, because basically you're coming in and you're saying, "Judge, I want $5 grand for this," and okay. But now you got to prove to me that this is worth $5 grand. That somehow they have ruined the entire. Because no matter what, if you wanted a sink and you wanted a stovetop, someone was going to cut your cabinets, and a warranty is going to be void.
You don't need to cut the cabinets.
Of course you do.
No, you don't.
This doesn't fit unless you cut the cabinet.
The other pictures show that you don't need it. The sink. I took pictures of the sink from the down.
I want you to look at me. I want you to listen to me. This is a stove, not the sink.
Yeah. Okay.
You were going to have to cut that cabinet.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you know that for this you're going to have to cut the cabinet.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We had somebody to do that.
Is this your kitchen?
So how do you find a good contract?
Word of mouth.
Well, yeah, but that mouth may be somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Your friends. If you go through people that you know, then you get good references that way.
You buying that from friends?
Pray.
You pray. How do you find a good contractor?
You marry one.
By the way, are you married to one?
Yes.
Married to one. Hey, here's the thing. He thinks you have to pray to do it, so how good can he be going inside the courtroom?
6 years, that's not...
No, seriously, how long were you without a kitchen?
Well, we have a basement kitchen.
Oh, good.
Hence the reason why I'm usually in the basement.
Okay, I don't feel sorry for you. As someone who cooked in a microwave and a cooktop for a good, 4 months or something, because I refused to move. All right, what is this a picture of, my dear?
That's the
sink.
Yeah, where you could see that the supports that support the cabinet.
Okay, I'm going to need testimony from somebody other than you on this.
Okay.
Do you have a kitchen person who came in and said, this is wrong, that is wrong, it's going to cost X to fix?
No, I didn't think
No, but we do. We have something from the plumber and the electrician.
Okay, let's see that. But is it something other than a bill for what you asked them to estimate? I need expert testimony on what you're saying, which is the kitchen is just has to be ripped out.
Okay.
That's what you're arguing, right? The whole kitchen has to be ripped out. So, because I could consider that to be a gross overreaction, I have to be honest with you. So I'm going to need you to hand me something from a professional who says, no, Judge, you're wrong. It's not a gross overreaction.
It's 4 cabinets that need to be. I mean,
so the countertops have to come out, the plumbing has to come out, the electrical has to come out.
There's 4 cabinets that need to be what?
That need to be replaced.
Replaced.
Okay.
It's not the all.
I need something from someone claiming that they need to be replaced. Okay. I see what you're saying regarding the cut. That needs to be repaired. But you are the big assumption you're making in order to entitle you to $5 grand is that everything has to be ripped out. Says who everything has to be ripped out? You say, well, they ruined the integrity of the kitchen. I need somebody else to say that besides you who are trying to get the $5 grand.
I have that the sheet from Thompsonville Cabinets stating exactly that.
Let me see what you have for. Are you going to show me something from the pre-manufacturer, or did you have Thomasville come out and look at it?
No, just the warranty. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, what are all these things that you guys took out?
Okay. You want to tell them?
Yeah, there's supports for shipping purposes. I take them out when the sinks because they have to be bolted from underneath. Sometimes they interfere with trying to put the bolts up, so we cut them out.
When you say for shipping purposes, aren't these on all the other cabinets you didn't touch? Or
right, correct. They don't really serve no purpose.
Says who?
Some of the cabinet companies I've talked to.
Okay, mostly every undermount sink that we do, we cut out the sides because you cannot put the clips in.
Right.
Okay, or it just barely fits into the cabinet.
But all of these aren't from the sink.
Yeah.
Sink cabinets.
That's a sink
The
cabinet.
sink cabinets, right, that's what I'm asking. All of these are from the sink cabinets?
That's it. That's it. There was 2 sinks, actually.
Do you have evidence from your installers that this was done wrong? The people who were supposed to install this stuff?
Not with us.
Not with us.
Guys, you're out of gas. But let me tell you, I am appalled at the way this was done. Okay. Did you offer to do anything about this abysmal?
Yes, I offered to put skins on the side just to cover up the hole. It really is a cosmetic thing.
And you said no?
He declined.
He did not offer. It turned into a shouting match where it was like horrible.
Who was shouting?
He was.
He was.
I never said a word.
They both shouting?
They were both
Just
shouting.
between us, were they both shouting?
Yes, of course
okay,
they were both
was this
shouting.
on the phone or in person?
In person, he came to the house.
Tell me all about it. Tell me about it.
He came to the house to come and look at the cabinets. He was very blasé. Didn't really, and then he turned around and said, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to give you a couple $100 for it? Well, there's nothing I can do about it now.
She was not there.
She was not there when you went?
I was there. Again, I was in the basement.
Were you down in the basement?
Again,
Just
that's
listening?
Where I stay.
You
That's
need to
where
better be present or get out. But you cannot be, I'm listening, I hear everything, but I'm down in the basement and I hear nothing. I mean, tell me what happened between you two.
I can give you my version of it. Basically, I agreed with him that the cut was, and basically when I said to him, we should have charged you for the cut, he went off the wall.
Well, I don't blame him.
Okay,
because that's not the thing you say to an angry homeowner.
Basically,
you need to learn people skills.
Yeah, no. But he just started ranting and raving.
At the time, he called you in there because he was upset about what specifically? What did he say?
Cut out.
What cut out? All of them?
No. There was no mention of the sinks. There was just
no mention of the sink.
No, there was just a cut out of the stuff. That was in question.
Okay. And by the way, when you came upstairs, you were responsible for checking everything and paying them, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
My fault. I didn't bother to open the cabinets.
When did your husband come home and open the cabinets and see whatever?
5 o'clock.
That night.
And when he came home, what did he say?
Do you want to know? Really?
Yes, I want specifics. I'll bleep it out.
He shouted, what they do? I can't believe this. Why would they do something like this?
How did you pay them? Why did you pay them?
Right. So then the next thing we did the next day is we tried to stop the check, but they cashed it immediately. So they obviously knew that they've done something wrong.
They obviously have been doing business for how long?
15 years.
And so the first thing they do when they get a check is go straight to the bank?
No.
Well, that's what I would do.
Well, we don't. I mean, basically, if it's on a Tuesday, I go to the bank on Tuesday.
Okay, whatever. Here we are. I'm going to order a portion of the fee returned to them so that they can take care of the things that they need to take care of, but it's not going to be the amount that you're asking. I'm ordering the defendant to repay the plaintiff the amount of $1,000. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Hold on.
Well, we heard their work called appalling, garbage, abysmal. Here they are. What's your reaction to this outcome?
Hi, how are you? Basically, don't do people favors. I mean, and you won't get in any trouble.
Oh.
And it wasn't, he made a lousy cut, whoever did it. I don't know if it was him or one of the other guys.
Oh, the other guy.
The guy wasn't me. I was with him.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so you blamed it on him?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Head right down this way, okay?
Right. Thank you.
All right, and here come the homeowners. You sued for $5,000 and you were just awarded $1,000.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. What's your feeling on that?
Not happy. Still have to take care of the kitchen. There's 4 cabinets that are ruined, so.
Ruined? It looked, really?
They're ruined. If they were at
It
your
sounded
house,
like you overreached a little bit in your lawsuit.
we don't think so.
Yeah, but what about just
Brand new
fixing
cabinets?
What about just fixing them?
I don't know how you would go about fixing them. Come over.
Harvey?
Take a look.
Okay, Kurt, so here's the thing. You could pray You could marry one, you could ask your friends, but one thing you absolutely have to do when you hire a contractor is call the state agency that licenses the contractors in your state. What they will tell you is there disciplinary action against them? Have they done something really bad? And that way you can at least find out if they have a clean record. But beyond that, you want to make sure your contractor has a bond, that they're bonded, because what that bond does is it protects you. It's like an insurance policy where you call the insurance company and say, hey, the guy screwed up, pay up on the bond.